What's going on? What is going on? It is your boy, Smooth Blaze, and I would like to welcome you back to the Reality Check Present versus Future Self, Episode 6. Now, before we get into the meat of things, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, hit that notification bell and select all so you will not miss one video. Now, previously on last week, the areas where we touched on was the idea of recapping how to finish strong through 2022, looking at what you've accomplished, evaluating those areas where you have dominated and done well, and looking at those areas where you lacked or you slacked on. So, as I reflected over that week on a couple weeks ago, the biggest thing that came to mind was what should I leave behind in 2022? Again, what should I leave behind in 2022? So, the idea of baggage, as we know, when you get on airplanes, you have to bring your luggage and baggage with you. But sometimes you might be in a situation where your baggage get lost or something gets taken. So there are situations where is maybe a good thing for you to leave things behind, but there's certain situations where you have something that you really cherish or is very valuable that you lost that you cannot get back. So understanding between what baggage is needed versus what baggage is not needed. So we'll start by one will be reflecting over your vision for 2022. Um, really look at your actions and what you've done, and do they mirror what you have put as far as your game plan for this year. I know for me, I've done a lot of the things that I've set out for, but there are certain things that I'm lacking. So I can take responsibility and accountability for that to make those adjustments as I go into the next year. After that will be understanding the pros and cons that we have, meaning identifying those areas where you're struggling versus where you're striving. I know for me, one area that I struggled in was maintaining reading and also maintaining consistency with my finances as far as saving. I started off well, then all of a sudden I started slacking due to different circumstances. But the areas where I maybe thrived in was being consistent with my recordings, being consistent with ensuring that I have the blueprint to make sure that I get my weekly things done. Another area where I may have lacked in that was during the time where I was working out and all of a sudden I just stopped due to a lot more responsibility at work, due to transitioning into a new property. Those different things come up, and that's just the reality of it. Next will be time management. How well did I utilize the time that I've had throughout this year? Meaning, during times where I've had something drop off or something pushed back to another date, what did I do within those gaps? Meaning that I kept an agenda of exactly what I did on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, and an hourly basis. So you can see exactly how much space you have and what did I do within those areas where I had downtime. Did I sit there and do nothing, or did I kind of execute on that? Those are things what you deal with when it comes to time management. Now, relationships. This is a big one. Have I developed or destroyed relationships that I've gone through throughout my year's journey? Meaning that through the people that I've interacted with, the connections that I made, and even some of the bridges I may have broken, not intentionally, but things didn't turn out the way it was supposed to be. What am I doing exactly to make sure that this does not happen moving forward? So there are certain things in our lives that we have to evaluate so that we can ensure that we're making sound and effective and efficient decisions. Next, financial management. This is a big one right here, financial management. And how have I been a good steward of my income that I received this year? Meaning, based on what I get paid every 2 weeks, based on what I get paid through how much I got within half of the year, every quarter, did I really execute and put that in place where I was supposed to? Have I put myself in a bigger hole, or have I released some stress for myself? I know due to me gaining new property, it put me in a little hole in a way, but I know that the things that I did was for a purpose and was for a reason. It wasn't like I was just burning on some foolishness. So there are things that I had to put in place and make time for in order to get the job done. So next will be for number 6, faith level. Have I taken the necessary time and effort to make God a priority this year? Meaning, when you look at making him priority, most of the decisions that you make should be asked for him. And have you actually taken time to make sure that he is number one in your life, and two, that he is within every single decision that you make? And it could be on a financial level, emotional level, and a spiritual level. Just being able to make sure that he is always included and not excluded. That's one of the hardest things, because at times we can do well in life, and sometimes we may just forget and say, oh, okay, I'm good. I ain't got to worry about nothing. But then when things get rough, we want to lean on God. It's about being consistent with him. It's just like having a friend that's there with you through the good times, and but a friend that don't even fool with you throughout the bad times. You have to make sure that you keep that same consistency with God as you would do with anybody else that you would want to deal with. So that's major. Last but certainly not least, what should I do moving into 2023? Here's some things for me that I thought that I looked at for myself and thought, man, I may need to revamp some things. Number one would be trust and allow God to be your navigator, meaning don't worry about whether or not it makes sense, or worry about why this happened and it didn't plan on happening that way, but it did. Just allow God to guide you so that you be able to make those sound decisions, because he knows what's around the corner, and he knows what's going to happen 10, 15, 20 years, even an hour from now. Next would be taking better care of my finances, meaning looking at what I'm being involved in, looking at the situation I put myself in, or just evaluating what my money look like versus how much I owe. If if I'm looking at I owe more than what I actually make on a yearly basis, that's a problem. And I have to make sure that I be strategical with how I move. Next would be letting go of negative relationships and maintaining healthy. You have to be able to cut and deal with things the way you deal with your money, work, and everything. You have to know exactly what you want to do. And with people in relationships, versus personal and professional, you have to always ensure that you create those positive relationships with people, and those things that are not beneficial, people in your so-called circle that are not beneficial, let them go and just do what you have to do to better yourself. All right. Finding ways to maintain time better, meaning when I have more time on my hands, what can I do to attack another area where I might have missed? Meaning that if I have an extra hour, extra 2 hours more than what I thought, what can I do that I was supposed to do for tomorrow that I can do for today? So it gives me more time for the next day. Because time is something that you cannot get back. Revamp your vision for your goals, meaning always keep in mind what the main vision and the main goal. But due to how things happened in 2022, look how things what you want to revamp for 2023 as you write them down. And last and certainly not least, evaluate your pitfalls over your accomplishments. Meaning, we all will have pitfalls in life. So look at those as lessons versus pain. And your accomplishments give you confirmation that you're able to do the necessary things to get to where you need to. So those pitfalls are just lessons. Accomplishments are confirmation that you can continue to push through. Now, as we close, I would like to thank you for taking the time out to watch my YouTube video. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, select that notification bell and hit all so you will not miss one video. It is your boy, Smooth Blaze. And I would like to, and I'm signing out. Peace.